Okay. Okay, well, because this is being filmed, I'm just going to give a very short comment here. We're here today for the hallucination test, and we're working with the lighting supervisor and general theatre genius, Stuart Billinghurst, here at Plymouth University. So, Stuart, you don't know about the background of this piece, so I'm just going to explain it. So the piece is called Insight, and essentially what it's based on is I have some visual symptoms called Palinopsia. Now, I don't know if have you seen the Jacksons' Blame It on the Boogie video? Yeah, or the Bring It Back video is another one with that lady who wears all those mirrors. And there's visual echoes as they move, there's these visual echoes. It's very exaggerated, but I get an element of that. So if I, against a dark background, sweep my hand in front of my eyes, I see very gentle visual echoes. If I'm tired and stressed, and the light is very dark, there can actually be quite intense visual echoes, not to the point of Blame It on the Boogie, but pretty intense. And that's called Palinopsia. Another element of Palinopsia is after images. So if you stared at any of these stage lights for long enough and looked away, you'd get an after image on your eye. With my Palinopsia symptoms, that after image is very intense. In fact, I can look at a door or a table and then look away from it, and I will get an after image of that, similar to what you might get from looking at the sun or a bright light. So the combination of these that's Palinopsia. Now, so Insight, the idea is with Insight is I thought, well, it would be great to really give an audience an insight, if you like, into my personal consciousness. That's one thing you can never do normally, is know what someone's feeling or what they're truly seeing. It's a very private, personal thing. And it occurred to me that we now have technology like the iPad, and you have this idea of augmented reality software, where you can use the iPad camera to look at something and then use the touch screen or use processing via the internet and various information and visual recognition to augment, to put things over the top of the camera, the live camera image, for various functions or for games or whatever. And I thought, well, what if I could actually have algorithms which simulated the symptoms of Palinopsia based on what it was seeing? And what if you took the output of those algorithms, as well as putting them up on the screen there, putting the visuals on the screen so this audience can see roughly what I'm hallucinating? What if that was output to a laptop with a music algorithm on it, which would turn those sounds into music? And because I like to I don't just do electronic music, I love writing for acoustic and classical instruments, so I thought I'd like to do a classical piece for flute, hallucination, and electronic sounds, and that's what this is going to be. So on the stage we're going to have the flute player, Simon de Sorga, myself, probably stressed out through rehearsals and lack of sleep, the lighting quite low or with strange flashing effects that you're going to do that are going to trigger off weird after image effects and so forth, and the music will be built from those hallucinations together with a score that I will write for Simon. So another element we need to do is just to see how well I hallucinate. So I think, can we bring the lights, let's bring the lights down to nothing. We also need to see if this blooming, the other problem will be, we want to get the lights, right, we want to get the lights dark enough so that I have good hallucinations, but we don't want to get them so dark that the iPad can't see anything. So we're just about right. Okay. So bring the lights down to nothing. Can you do that? How dark what's the darkest it can get in here? Is that the darkest? Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. So what's happening now in this level of light? The iPad can't see anything, so there's a limit to what we'll be able to do in this level of light. But what's happening in this level of light is, I mean, the whole of the theatre is generating an after image. So if I stare at if I just stare at the seats, the slight movements in my eyes are causing like a dark patch to appear above each seat. So yeah, that's a good one. That has quite an effect. Yeah, that has a big effect. Another possibility might be very dim, like might be, yeah, that's an interesting light. Do that again. Because what that does is it makes me unable to focus on the audience.
Your iris is closed up, which makes this darker.
Yes, exactly. So what's happening now is it looks like the lights have gone down, yeah, that's quite good. That's a good effect, actually. But that was a new experience for me, to actually have a performance rehearsal based on my hallucination.